And I'll start over. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today on Facebook for SalonCentrics Live with L'Oreal Professional and myself. I'm Kelly Hovey. I'm an artist with L'Oreal Professional and a colorist behind the chair. I love all things L'Oreal Professional, so you're going to hear me get really excited today. And you're also going to hear me talk quite a bit about my favorite coloring technique behind the chair, French balayage with L'Oreal Professional. We have some amazing products with L'Oreal Professional, and they're always creating new and great ways to color and make it more creative for us, but also to have confidence in the hair structure itself. Always adding new ingredients to our products to help make sure that we have consistency, integrity, and tons of shine. So today we're going to be talking about L'Oreal Professional's Blonde Studio 7. It is a clay lightener that is ammonia free, and it is absolutely incredible. You'll hear me say so many times how much I love it over and over again, and I will make sure I explain every single thing I know and love about it. We're also going to talk a little bit more about a couple other things. We have our newest, like I said before on our previous slide before we got disconnected, was that we have a new revolutionary, innovative, disruptive product called Metal Detox. You guys, I'm seeing, hi! Thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. It makes me feel so good. Metal Detox is our newest innovative product, and we cannot wait to share with you guys. You guys have been flooded on social media with Metal Detox. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions about it, and that's what we are here for today, to help you guys understand and fall in love with it like the artists at L'Oreal Professional have. Guys, I am so excited for you to get your hands on Metal Detox, and I promise you every single guest and every single client will want to have this on their hair. So before we get started, you'll notice I have two beautiful doll heads with me. We have Amber and we have Ellie from Pivot Point. Both Ellie and Amber have Blonde Studio Clay. This is our ammonia-free clay balayage lightener. It lists 7 levels. It's extremely smooth, extremely stretchy, and I'm absolutely obsessed with the consistency, and you'll see why. Here on Miss Amber, on her formation, we have Blonde Studio 7 clay lightener with 30 volume. I didn't even want to add a toner because I wanted you guys to see the even and consistency on that. Oh my goodness, you guys, look on her formation. Look how smooth and how beautiful and golden that is. I love how it frames her face, gives her a little bit of contour, gives her a little bit of movement, and look at the contrast difference. No toner even needed. But if I did, I would definitely go and do a light like I did here with Ellie. And Miss Ellie, we have our Blonde Studio 7 clay as well. She also has 30 volume. I wanted to show you guys the sun kiss effect the Blonde Studio 7 has to offer. Hi, Lucy from NYC. How are you guys today? Thanks for tuning in. All right, so we have some beautiful techniques to go over today. We're gonna be focusing on express balayage. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what is express balayage? What is French balayage? I hear that a lot. And French balayage is our method behind balayage here at L'Oreal Professional. It is the French sun-kissed lived-in technique. It's effortless, it's beautiful, and it grows so naturally. And thanks to L'Oreal Professional, we have awesome products to help us create that. And with our newest Blonde Studio 7 clay, I feel like it's easier more than ever for me to balayage. I've been, one thing I can always say about balayage is you're always learning. You're always growing in it. But the best part is that L'Oreal is always just elevating it. Coming up with awesome Facebook Lives and videos, and access.com, and Access, the app where you can learn some amazing techniques. And now we have some beautiful colors and lighteners to work with to not only elevate that for our clients, but us behind the chair and maximize our time. I'm sure we're all learning that coming back to work, some of you guys have been back for a very long time. California has, it's been a whole year since we were shut down again, and we are just thrilled to be working behind the chair. But what we're finding is, I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling the same way, is that we need our services to be a little quicker, but we also need the integrity of the hair to be strong, healthy, shiny, and we also need the integrity of the hair to be vibrant and consistent with our lighteners. So L'Oreal Professional had the Blonde Studio 7 clay. I'm using 30 volume, but before I do, let me bust out our Metal Detox. How many of you guys are excited for Metal Detox? Put a hearts in the comments if you guys are excited for Metal Detox. I want to see those of you who are ready to learn all about this beautiful product here. Anyone? All right, here we go. So Metal Detox, for those who are not aware, it is pro guaranteed, your color balayage service. It's going to have 87% less breakage. It's gonna have 100% reliable color. And you're gonna have all compatibility with all of our colors and lighteners in our Blonde Studio and L'Oreal Professional Color portfolio. It's simple to use. I like to apply Metal Detox on my client's hair right after our consultation, let it air dry a little bit, and then I go back to mix our color and I come back and I'm ready to go. It's the easiest 3-step process ever, but right behind the chair, you're just gonna about 8 to 10 inches away. Let me get a little practice squirt here real fast. There we go. Thanks guys for the hearts. I'm in love with Metal Detox too. We had some samples mailed to us and I went out of it way too soon, so I'm happy we finally have it available to us. So notice I'm just doing a beautiful fine mist. I'm not saturating the hair completely, and I'm able just to comb it through the hair ever so slightly here. It's gonna be a little damp. That is normal, that is okay. I know it's a little alarming at first when it's new. I promise you, it will not get in the way of your application. And what it's designed to do, like I said before, is give 87% less breakage, even porosity in the color, but it also neutralizes the metals that live inside the hair. How many of our clients are complaining about dryness and breakage right now, especially with, quarantine hair and swimming pools? But the reality is, you guys, that water, no matter what, if it touches our hair, it has metals in it. So if we're experiencing breakage or dryness, or what I notice a lot is uneven consistency in color. Maybe there's some pockets of dryness or some pieces that didn't get as light quite as much as the others, is the metals that are living inside the hair fiber. So what Metal Detox is designed to do, and you guys are gonna make fun of me here because I do not know how to pronounce this word yet. I will, but I believe it's glycomine. If any of you know how to exactly pronounce it, please abbreviate it in the comments section to help a sister out, because it is the tricky one. But what I know about it, what I felt about it, is that it really works. So what it is a molecule small enough to enter the hair fiber. Most additives that you can add to color services to prevent breakage only coat the outside of the hair. Metal Detox, with its 9 patents worldwide with L'Oreal Professional, of course, because we're just amazing like that. It goes onto the inside of the hair fiber, and it's neutralizing immediately the metals that live inside the hair, which is going to give you consistent, even results. It's going to give you 87% less breakage. This step is the neutralizing step. The second step is after your color service is done with any of our color service portfolio. That's our lighteners, Anoa, Majorelle, Dia Light, Dia Richesse, any of those you can use Metal Detox with. You go to shampoo, and you're going to now detox the hair, and then you condition with either your mask or conditioner, and you're going to protect the hair. Well, also the at-home services that you have with Metal Detox, what that does is it helps fight those little metals that go inside the hair fiber right away at home as well. So it's really important and a great idea for your clients to take home Metal Detox at home care to prevent more metals entering the hair. So already the hair is dry from spraying in our Metal Detox. Nothing to be worried about. What I'm gonna do, you guys, I did half the doll head for you guys. We're gonna do an express balayage service. Time is everything today, which is why I love Metal Detox, because it takes 0 time for me to prep the hair. I don't have to measure and add it into my color portfolio, what I'm using for that day for my client. I can just go right in and use that color. So I've already did the other side like I mentioned before, but if you can imagine, if you will, almost like a herringbone or a football shape. Let me make sure is there any questions, guys? Am I missing anything? It is revolutionary, Joffrey. Hi. How does it neutralize the metal? That is the ingredient glycomine. Glycomine. It is small enough to go and neutralize and penetrate. It is fighting those metals. It's almost like a superhero power where it's like, not today. It's not gonna let it happen. We're not gonna break today. That's what's happening inside the hair. Like I said, most other additives only go onto the outside of the hair. So this is going to be game changing. Not only is it less time behind the chair for us, it's also an add-on service. You know, the suggestion is between $30 to $40 to add it on. I 100% agree with that. Okay, so we have Blonde Studio 7 Clay. I already pre-mixed my lightener here. I'm just gonna make sure it's the right consistency. Blonde Studio 7 Clay Lightener, when it's off scalp, is recommended to mix at 1 to 1.5 to 1 to 2. How I've decided which one varies for me is the consistency and the porosity of someone's hair that I'm experiencing. So with my girl here, I'm doing 1 to 1.5 with Miss Ellie. And I'm gonna turn so you guys can see. This is an express balayage service. What does that mean? Your client's interested in balayage. Your client is curious, they've never had it before, and you wanna add on a service to complement their color or add just simply dimension to their hair color. Making sure I'm not missing any, guys. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? Can you put a thumbs up if you guys can hear me? Just so I can make sure. Little likesies. So I'm going to go in with balayage, our express service. Thank you guys. I have my bead. This is my planchette. And inside my lightning bowl, I have a well brush. This is what's going to keep my surface extremely clean. And notice how my body position's a little bit open. So I'm gonna make sure that you guys can see all of this. But express balayage service, add-on service, maybe they only need a touch-up. This is a really great way to introduce your clients to balayage, add dimension to their color overall. My favorite way to add express balayage is after I have applied a global application of color, to then go in with a couple balayage pieces to elevate their hair color, to then either add dimension, contrast, or my favorite thing to go back and do is tone at the bowl with Dia Light to really, really seal the deal. I know I'm giving you guys a lot of information at once. I'm just super excited. We have a lot to talk about today between Metal Detox and Blonde Studio 7 Clay Express Balayage. So I'm just starting right behind the ear. I'm gonna be going with some bigger pieces today. We're gonna be doing some classic balayage technique, but we're going in just behind the ear. And you're gonna notice I'm going to be following that pattern towards her face. So we're going to be complementing, we're gonna be pushing towards her face to add pop around the hairline, but also add softness and dimension. I really like to separate my balayage with some plastic wrap. Okay, making sure while I'm painting. And a lot of you guys love to see how I paint the hairline, so I'm going to make sure I have a good section here. I'm going to subsection her hairline out. This is what we are going to call a signature face frame here. I really, really like to clip it out of my way because when I'm painting the hairline first, it actually doesn't leave me much room to paint on the section behind that face frame. Look at this consistency real fast. I want you guys to see. It's very creamy. It's very soft. It's almost got like a springiness to it. It makes me so happy. The first time I used Blonde Studio 7 Clay, my eyes lit up because it wasn't flying everywhere. It's not hard at all. You can see the bounce and the springiness in there. Isn't that neat? It smells amazing. You're not gonna smell a lightener smell. You're almost smelling like roses. My clients have been really enjoying that a lot. And so have I. I'm gonna leave a little bit of depth here. I'm smoothing out with my thumbs. Can you guys see okay? All right. Starting in my zone 2, if you guys have taken L'Oreal Professional Balayage classes with us, that is the mid zone, and working my way up. When I am painting with my balayage brush, I just at the root area to make softness versus the score line, tilt my brush ever so slightly. I'm always painting out of horizontal, not vertical. Vertical is gonna push through the lightener and you're actually causing like some friction and teasing as well. But look at how smooth and it glides. Again, focusing, leaving negative space out is so important when balayaging. Sometimes we get nervous of the negative space that it's not going to be bright enough. Let me tell you, if it's not bright enough, you'll know because you'll have a lot of see-through when you're painting. If it's not solid saturation, it's not going to be bright. With Blonde Studio 7 Clay Lightener, I'm really effortlessly painting it on. I'm really not having to spend as much time painting the perfect piece. I can confidently go in and just glide through. It's so slippery in a sense where I have control, but it's like it glides, like ice, or ice skating. There's another piece here, and you'll notice my pattern. That's 2 pieces, done. And on the second doll hot on amber, you guys, I'm gonna go over Metal Detox again. So before I do, I'll make sure I go through the comment section and see if I can help answer any questions. And our L'Oreal team is also tuning in as well, and they can also help answer questions along the way. So making sure I have really clean, tight sections here around the hairline. If this is your client, you're gonna have them tilt their head a little bit to the left or the right and have them just tilt their chin up. Make sure you ask them if they're comfortable. But how many of us, in the comment section, how many of us are having clients who want the maximum amount of blonde in one visit? We can still offer that. We just have to make sure that their hair integrity can handle it. And with Metal Detox and Blonde Studio 7 Clay, Blonde Studio 7 Clay being ammonia-free gives me the confidence alone that not only does it evenly lift and give me insanely bright results, but it keeps the hair structure really strong and healthy. When I rinse out the hair after using Blonde Studio 7 Clay before Metal Detox was even launched, it was so hydrated and soft for just being lightened. That was probably one of the first things I noticed with using Blonde Studio 7 at the bowl, was how hydrated the hair felt before I even put Dialight in, which is, our acid-based color that's gonna help tone. It deposits only. So I'm just putting about 3 points here. I wanna make sure we get to Miss Amber so you guys can see how I approach her formation with Blonde Studio 7 Clay. Again, for those who are just tuning in, this is Blonde Studio 7 Clay Ammonia-Free Balayage Lightener. It is made of 19% clay, lifts up to 7 levels, is insanely smooth, and gives me the most beautiful, consistent results. I feel like when I'm painting with Balayage 7's, clay lightener, I feel like an artist. More than ever, I feel like I can just be free and my body position is comfortable. I'm not having to go back and remix. It's not drying out on me. It's not getting too thin. That is something sometimes some clay balayage lighteners can do, is kind of harden on the outside, right? This still will give a little bit of a shell, but it stays moist and it stays wet. And I know you guys all love that word so much, but it does. It stays really hydrated. It's no heat and it still gives me the most perfect lift. It's crazy. My client, it's one of those situations, my very first client ever used it on, had an emergency and she had to go, and her color was only on for probably about 15 minutes and she had to leave. And to our surprise, it was ready. It was 15 minutes. I could not believe. I'm like, whoa, this lifted really quickly. So in that football section, I'm just taking a slight diagonal here, and I forgot to show you guys the hairline. Take off the plastic so you guys can see. There you go. Around the hairline, giving her a nice soft pop that you can see I created on this side of the hair as well. Beautiful. You're gonna hear some fire engines, guys. We are right by the hospital over here, so bear with me as well on that. Okay, so we have our football section that we had on the top. If we had both sides done, it would be a perfect football section here. And we're going to start at our highest point down to lowest with about 2 pieces here. I'm at about 2 pieces. Not gonna overdo it. It's the express balayage service. I'm not giving it all away today for my client. This application you can do behind the chair while their color is processing with a Noah Majorelle de Richesse. Or you can, I'm gonna take this plastic off, it'll just be a little easier. Or you can even apply this at the bowl. How many of you guys have ever done balayage at the bowl? Anyone out there tried that before? Yeah. Okay. So I'm over directing the hair just ever so slightly. Notice how my thumbs are what is gripping my hair, my piece together. I'm using a wider brush today versus a classic finer brush to get more of a hair painting effect. Going in. Notice also, I'm going to say notice a lot because there's a lot of fun things about Balayage Studio 7 Clay Lightener. Look how easy it is to get a feathered look in the hair. I can create a bold, classic piece, or I can get really creative and create a feathered hair painted piece with balayage. The method. French balayage is the classic method of balayage, and hair painting with balayage is going to give you a little bit more what I'm doing here. I'm going to paint on the ends just a little bit here. This is what we call zone 3, mid-shaft and ends, just a very little bit there. I like to place the hair right back onto my brush, flip it over, and feather it up. This is so satisfying. Wow. So notice how soft that line is. There's no harsh horizontal line going through. There's no saturation on both sides, and I'm going to show you right now. I'm able to get beautiful pieces without overlapping. Also, the other thing about clay lightener I love is that it sticks. So even though it's stretchy and it's easy to move around, where I place it, it stays. It's not spreading, it's not saturating through the hair. It's sitting right where I placed it. Making sure I'm not missing anything. All right, so that was my first. Now we're gonna go into a second piece here. And I'm going to mimic the other side. Some of my other live videos I have posted, I do a 1, 2, 3 method. I wanted to give you guys a little something different today with Express Balayage. I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to use Bond Studio 7 clay. We've only had it for a few months behind the chair, but it has changed my life. It has changed my life behind the chair. I'm working faster. I'm loving the consistency in the product. I'm loving how my client's hair is lifting. And now with Metal Detox, neutralizing the metals on the inside of the hair, because there's a molecule small enough to penetrate into that hair fiber, deactivating the metal inside that hair fiber, it's only going to give me even better results and give my client the assurance that I have her integrity in mind by taking her lighter. I want my clients to feel safe in my chair, not only with me personally, but with my products as well. All right. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And I have a lot of coverage. Now we're gonna drop this last section off, giving me enough. See how much more depth I'm gonna get in here. If I'm taking another subsection, I can get more blonde, but I'm also gonna be losing the contrast I need to see. So to maximize the amount of blonde around the hairline, I'm going to pre-section out, once again, the hairline. And I'm going to clip her out of my way. I'll probably just subdivide that right into 2 here, and we'll make our last final 3 pieces. I wish you guys could hear how that sounds going on the board because it's oddly satisfying for me. Nothing better than a smooth planchette. If your board is overloaded with product, you're gonna have too much product onto your hair in your pickup piece as well. So it's important to know your hair, your technique. Are you going in with more of a baby light effect with balayage? Then you're gonna want a finer saturation on your planchette board. If you're going with hair painting or bigger pieces, you're gonna need just about right there. I had there for you guys right there. Let's see. A little fine piece here. I'm going to create a V. Before I continue, I want you guys to see what I'm doing here. You guys can see my V. So Metal Detox is working as I'm working. I don't have to do any extra steps. It's inside the hair fibers. It's neutralizing the metals. Blonde Studio Clay is opening that cuticle and gently lifting the hair with its ammonia-free 19% clay. Today behind the chair, I find myself really being able to get more free and creative with these money pieces because I'm customizing for my clients. I'm not, going with the same sections every single time for them. I'm looking at their face shape and seeing how I can customize it for them. And we have so many different lighteners to choose from in our portfolio. But I feel so lucky and so blessed that L'Oreal Professional has created an ammonia-free balayage lightener that still gives the maximum amount of lift with 7 levels. There's another piece. Look at all that depth that's gonna be here. That's gonna help support my money piece right there. I'm gonna leave that piece alone for depth and contrast. And we're gonna drop our last section down. Okay. Let's see. Is there any questions I'm missing? Let's see. How's your guys' Monday going? Tell me how your Monday's going, guys. Mine's going great. It is beautiful out here in Newport Beach, California. I feel so blessed for this beautiful sunny day. And if this is a real client, she'd be feeling real blessed to show off her balayage outside. All right. Another full satch. I'm getting more tension, really gripping my thumbs. If my tension is too low, look what happens. The hair is moving and bending. If my tension's a little higher and I move the hair, there's not as much movement to where I can have bleed through and blend, uneven pieces. Whereas if my tension's a little higher, right below my thumbs, right here, I started my zone 2, working my way up to zone 1. Elevating the hair just a little bit when I get closer to my root area, since that's where I desired her color to be. And I'm just saturating until I don't see any hair underneath there. And with Blonde Studio 7 Clay Lightener, I really don't have to work too hard at that. I'm able to get really smooth, effortless painting pieces here. Balayage is life for me, guys. So for L'Oreal Professional to constantly be elevating us in our industry and myself behind the chair, I just will say it over and over again. I'm so grateful. I love that this smells so beautiful as I'm standing around on top of Blonde Studio 7 Clay. Mids to ends, getting that really saturated there. Reloading my board. Pickup piece here. And notice where I saturate underneath, I'm painting just ever so slightly, allowing that hair to stick to my brush, placing my planchette on the bottom. Never going with my brush vertical, always just staying at that horizontal section. Flip it and reverse it to make sure and ensure that both sides are saturated to get that pop on the ends. There we go. And last but not least is our hairline. Isn't it satisfying? I know, I feel the same way. I'm glad you think so because it is for me. I know it is for me. Okay, hairlines are tricky. Everyone has a different recession. I'm gonna show you mine. My recession here We have quite a bit of thinness after 2 babies. Also stress doesn't, stress is great. But we have our hairline. This side's a lot thicker. Would you guys agree? So it's important to pay attention to our clients' face shapes and make sure that we are placing their hairline, not going to expose too much. If you notice on my face shape, my hairline helps me give an illusion of some contouring. So that if I'm not wearing makeup, I feel, put together. And notice when I move my hair to the other side. If you guys have taken my classes, you've seen me talk about this. Look what happens to my face shape. It gets a little rounder and a little bit fuller in certain areas. But if I place my color differently, I can get the same effect. And for those of you who are young enough to remember the Hanson brothers Mbop phase, I look like a Hanson brother with lipstick on, but not my best look. But if I insisted on being on trend with the middle part, my colors can decide according to my face shape where to place those pieces with balayage or, with Blonde Studio 7 clay. We can add some softness around my face. So with my client, we parted down the middle. She has a face shape that suits her for that. So no fear, she just gets to go ahead and be on trend. It's really important that we discuss with our clients their face shape to make sure that they know that we're giving them their best results for the beauty for them. We're customizing it for them. I'm gonna lower her just a little bit because she's a little tall. If I can. Maybe not, I'll just get on my tippy toes. Okay, so for her hairline, I am gonna use a finer brush. Finer hair, finer brush, and finer saturation on my planchette, like I mentioned before. I'm going to over direct her. So if this is your client, you're going to have them in the chair just tilt their head back. And if it's uncomfortable or too heavy for their neck, you can ask them to scoot down just a little bit, and it'll only be for a few minutes. Always make sure your clients are comfortable. Reassure them that you have their comfort in mind. All right, here we go. Make sure retention is good. My arms are open. I'm gonna stand so you guys can see a little better. My arms are wide open. When balayaging, if your body position is here, it's gonna be a little hard to paint. You wanna be a little bit more open, a little bit more free. We're gonna be doing a bit more of a horizontal approach here. Just a little tip for you guys there. My elbows are up. Whoop, get that, erase that. I didn't mean to touch her. My attention, my thumbs are at the right underneath where I wanna start my section. You don't wanna start right at the root because you have nothing to work up to. Versus if you start just a little lower, you'll avoid getting those squared off hairline pieces. Okay, this is my focus face. This is where I get really serious with my clients. Balayage is a very focused, free, easygoing application. Perfect time to talk to your clients instead of you telling all the stories is to talk about Metal Detox with them, what it does, at-home care. Like we said, Metal Detox has a molecule, glycomine. I'm probably totally butchering that. I apologize, L'Oreal Professional and Salon Centric. But I will learn it, I promise. What I feel is it goes right into the hair fiber underneath, small enough. That is the ingredient. I see a question asking, how does it neutralize the hair? That's the ingredient that we have, 9 patents worldwide to help us have the research of 7 years of research on how to make sure we have a molecule small enough to enter the hair fiber so that we can change the industry and so we can change the experience for our clients behind the chair and at home. This is an add-on service, it's optional, but L'Oreal Professional and myself recommends every hair color service that you can add Metal Detox. And for those who are just tuning in, I will make sure I show you what that Metal Detox bottle looks like. For those who follow Salon Centric or are not aware, Salon Centric has 20% off their entire L'Oreal Professional portfolio, and except for the steam pod. But you guys, order your Metal Detox, order a kit, go in with someone at your salon and try it out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. There's no further extra steps outside of putting on before you place your hair color, shampooing and conditioning. That's it. That sounds like a good enough one from me. So we got our hairline here. Beautiful. Okay, so Ellie's done, and you guys get to see her after, which is awesome. So I have her after here. I'm gonna just kind of make sure she's good. Beautiful. I use freehand technique. I'm sorry. Ooh, that was a no-no. I used Blonde Studio 7 clay ammonia-free lightener to paint with my beautiful Ellie here today. How beautiful is that, guys? I did tone her with Dia Light. I did 903 with 9 volume. I wanted her to have a very sun-kissed golden effect. I'm noticing a lot of warm tones are coming back, and I really wanted to show off just the simplicity of the sun-kissed effect here. Not over the top, but how easy this placement can be for her. Move this back so you guys can see one more time. All right, so who's ready to see Miss Amber? I am. So like I said, I have 2 doll heads for you guys today. We have Amber and we had Ellie, who we just finished. And Amber has a beautiful formation. She has no toner of Dia Light on her hair. But look at this consistency. Look how even her hair texture is. Beautiful, right? I love the shine. There's no gloss on her hair. That's Metal Detox. Look at the difference, untreated with Metal Detox, and look at the treated Metal Detox. How neat is that? I love how defined her formation is. It's still beautiful and defined here, but look at the shine. I love that. Okay, so who's excited to learn this fun technique? I'm thrilled. So we have a zigzag parting here. What I find with formations in someone's hair is that you want to make sure you're going where the hair wants to go. Formations, sometimes they wake up and we don't know what the hair is going to do that day. So we are going to make sure that no matter where her hair lays, she has beautiful coverage. We're gonna do an express service on her as well. So I'm going to take, let me see if I can, diagonal forward right to the behind the ear, and I'm going to section off in the back. I'm going to show you again the zigzag here so you guys can kind of see. I just created a little bit of an off center so that wherever her hair moves, she has definition. Because the negative space in her hair is very important for Miss Amber. Did you do a zigzag section in the middle? Yes, I did. I did a zigzag section in the middle because when I was noticing her hair pattern, it didn't really have a section in mind where it wanted to go, and she wants to have it playful. And I really like how it was framing her face here, and I wanted to go with that too. You can see the difference, how it just softened the cheekbone even on this doll head Amber. So I wanted to go along with that where the hair was laying. I want balayage to live with the hair and her hair. So we got, I'm gonna go through and create just a small zigzag again. I'll show you here. Just a little. See how when I went diagonal forward, it created another triangle for me. That's gonna create more softness. Before we get into painting her hair, we are also going to use Metal Detox on her as well, Miss Amber. And when you're spraying Metal Detox, for those who are just tuning in, Metal Detox is our newest innovative product it's a treatment and at-home care as well, but it's going to elevate behind the chair to give you 87% less breakage and 100% reliable on your color. Also, it's 93% effective to prolong the color, and it also is UV protectant, which when I heard that information, my mind got very, very excited. Fine hair, you're looking at about 8 to 10 sprays, and with thicker to coarser hair, you're looking at about 10 to 12 sprays. So you're not gonna run out of this product quickly. I like to kind of push forward with it. I like to start at the ends, working my way to the root, since typically the ends are more thirsty. Not miss neat, so fine. Little goes a long way. You can brush it through, but with Miss Amber, I'm just going to kind of push it into her hair ever so gently with my hands. And my zigzag's still there, so that worked out great. Okay, section my zigzag out of the way. Now, what I'm gonna show you is I'm going within those 2 zigzag sections here. Make sure you guys can see. I'm going to take a diagonal back. With the formation, it's very important when painting to decide where you want to see the color live. For Miss Amber, I want to see a lot of depth underneath and pop on top. My consistency in our Blonde Studio 7 clay lightener is still really great. It is 1 to 1/2 30 volume. If you need it a little more on the thinner side, you can do 1 to 2. And I'm going to be going through a lot of product because her formation is going to absorb a lot of that color there. And the Metal Detox is now in her hair. The hair is not wet to the touch, but it's activating the glycomine, I will one day get it, enters into the hair fiber, neutralizing and detoxifying at the same time, guys. When we shampoo at the bowl is when we detoxify the hair. All right, well, with our formation here, we are painting still at my horizontal, ever so slightly tilting at the root. Really heavy saturation to make sure we get both sides. Then what I like to do is paint behind. Something that one of my mentors, Jonathan Teresh, taught me was if your point is on the right side of a formation like hers, when you go behind, you want to go onto the opposite side so that you don't create a color block. It won't look like a giant square within a highlight. You still want softness. But by painting on both sides, you're going to get full saturation on both sides. So when her hair curls in its natural form, she has beautiful saturation and pop. Notice I'm saturating a little heavier on the mids and ends than on Ellie. That's to make sure that I get the same consistency and pop on those ends so it doesn't disappear throughout. Beautiful. So I took that diagonal forward, I'm diagonal back. Now I'm going to go into my next section here. I'm picking up from that my point where I had the zigzag. And once again, painting away horizontally. Blonde Studio 7 clay lightener, ammonia-free, 90% clay. Doesn't harden, doesn't expand in the bowl. It stays so consistent. I really like how Blonde Studio 7 clay stays almost like it's wet. It acts like an adhesive, like a clay lightener would and does, but it stays wet so that I feel like it keeps lightening, it keeps moving. And with the Metal Detox, when it's inside the hair fiber neutralizing the metals, I'm even getting more even results because I'm not going to have inconsistencies in my hair color. There's not going to be gaps left behind. If you look at some of our marketing and our imagery for Metal Detox, you'll notice how much more even the canvas looks from the previous client. Even though it looked beautiful before, their whole entire section that they're showing that picture from roots to ends is just perfectly even. That's neutralizing those metals is what's prohibiting that. That's what causes breakage, is the metals that live inside the hair. Have you guys ever taken your dishes out of the dishwasher and you see spots on your dishes? That's hard water. Everywhere you live, especially here in California, we have a lot of hard water. And it's living inside of our hair. So when we're adding color services like lightening services or, great coverage, you're actually going into the hair shaft. The water molecules are going into the hair shaft as well. The hair color is attracted to water. And so if there's metals living in that water inside the hair, that it lives inside your hair, and it's not going to completely saturate, you're going to get inconsistencies, you're going to get breakage. What Metal Detox does is it neutralizes those metals to make sure that you have consistency in your color, 87% less breakage, and reliable color results. And you can use it with all colors. We love using it with every single color line with L'Oreal Professional, not just lightening services. You can use it with a Noah, DeRiches, D-Light, other color portfolios that you guys have in your salon that also is complementary with. Make sure I'm not missing any questions here. Okay, that's 3 pieces. Let's see, am I missing anything? Any questions, you guys? Okay, I'm gonna take another zigzag. Get in her formation here. Get just a little knot there. There we go. I'm just working on those high points of the zigzag. And I'm bricklaying those pieces so that they're not overlaying on top of each other. That way she gets more texture, more contrast, and more movement. Let me get a new brush. A little clumsy. Here we go. I knew I would probably drop something at some point, so I had to have an extra brush on my side. Placing the product gently onto my planchette, making sure there is enough so when I reload, I'm not having to go back and remix. I'm finding myself using less lightener when mixing, which is great for my salon owner. We're not overusing our lightener. And in the beginning, I actually was mixing too much because I was so used to having to mix a large amount for balayage that when I was mixing with Blonde Studio 7 clay, I didn't need nearly as much lightener. So that little jar is telling you that it's concentrated, and a little goes a long way. I think anytime that a beauty industry or beauty product shows a small container, it's telling you something. It's telling you that you don't need much. Don't overuse, I'm good. High point again. What I like about using with 30 volume with the Blonde Studio 7 clay as well for our formation right here is it's not going to dry the hair out at all with it being ammonia free. Really gentle on the hair fiber and the hair texture. Metal detox even reassuring me even more that I can walk away from my client and know that everything's all good. And with Blonde Studio 7 clay, there's no heat needed. And I feel that it lifts very quickly. Last night I processed her, she processed for 20 minutes and she got that light with the 1:5 mixing ratio with 30 volume Blonde Studio 7 clay. Okay. And this is our last section. If I'm wanting a lot more contrast, I can spend a lot more time. But the whole point of Express Balayage, guys, is to, give you some more tools to think about while your client's global application is processing, or while you're at the shampoo bowl and you wanted to add on a few pieces around the face. This is a great way to add on a service with balayage, introducing your client to balayage. You can go at these same sections and even add more pieces. You can do 2, singles, doubles. I'm doing more of a classic French balayage technique here on Miss Amber. Really saturating, spending lots of time making sure that that piece is perfect. Doing the same thing I would on Ellie, painting underneath, but I'm actually saturating in the mid-zone 2 to 3 versus just zone 3. Traditional balayage and French balayage, we want you guys to focus on saturating just on your last zone 3. Giving it that nice sun-kissed effect. But with formation, you want to make sure it's saturated. I'm going to turn her head just a little bit towards me. Looking up here. I was so impressed when I rinsed her out. I was ready to go and gloss her, but I wanted you guys to see how well she lifted on such a dark base color. She's a natural level 4 or 5. Her formation is beautiful. And I love how the Blonde Studio 7 clay is not expanding on Amber. It's not bleeding through. And as you can see on the results here on my left, on your right, my left, how even Blonde Studio 7 creates that balayage piece for you. And those who are just tuning in as well, I was mentioning before when I'm rinsing out Blonde Studio 7 that I feel that the hair is so hydrated, and my eyes wide open with excitement how much even the consistency is. And I really I feel like the tone of Dia Light mixed with the Blonde Studio 7 consistency and evenness is just, it's like money. It is so rewarding and so satisfying to see how beautiful the results are, what you just created. And your clients are gonna love it too. They're gonna go home with Metal Detox in their hair. They're not gonna go home feeling like their hair has been dry or thirsty after receiving color service. They're gonna feel hydrated and replenished. And by using the at-home Metal Detox shampoo and conditioner, they're gonna continue to fight those metals, and the product will not allow those metals to really enter the hair again. And you can use Metal Detox with any color portfolio that you have, which is my other favorite thing. I mean, what's not to love? One-step process, really. Like, so easy, so quick. Last piece here. I'm working off those high points from those zigzags, leaving lots of contrast and depth here. That was my desired look, express service. And with Dia Light, it's a non-negotiable for me with my clients. I feel like every client, whether they need a gloss or not, outside of amber, of course, for this class purpose, but I really feel like every client can benefit from Dia Light. With the acidity in the product, it is allowing you to close that cuticle down and start the healing process of the hair at home, right away. And they can continue with the Serie Expert product from L'Oreal Professional shampoo and conditioner. And now we also have the at-home shampoo, mask, and conditioner from Metal Detox that will continue to fight those metals that live in our hair. I know a lot of people experience dryness, especially this time of year. It's dry outside. In California, we forget we live in the desert. And so for L'Oreal Professional to come out with Metal Detox, I don't think it'll be a very hard thing to convince my clients. I feel like every client will benefit and want to have their metals neutralized in their hair. It's important for us to educate our clients outside of the stress hormones and heat damage and chemical damage that has been done to their hair previously, that they can prevent it. They can now prevent it. Not only do other products work on the outside, additives, I should say, that you can add to color or lightening services, they only coat the outside of the hair. Metal Detox actually enters inside the hair fiber, and it actually, it's like it neutralizes it to where it just disappears. I literally call it magic. They should have called it Magic Detox. But then we wouldn't know to explain to our clients Metal Detox. The fine mist allows for even distribution. If you go too close to the hair, it's gonna get really wet, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really hard to brush through, but it's unnecessary. I think we think that by having it wet means it's gonna enter. Believe me, with the 9 patents worldwide that we have and the 7 years of research that L'Oreal Professional has, with their amazing scientists that invented this for us, you don't need to go that close to the hair. The fine mist is going to work its magic, enter inside the hair fibers. It's small enough to get in there and fight all those metals that are causing some damage and uneven texture and uneven color results. So with Metal Detox, you're gonna get 100% reliable color. It's compatible with all of our color portfolio, and you're gonna have 87 less percent, oh my gosh, you guys, sorry. 87 less breakage, and is a UV protectant. Your color will be prolonged. The hair will feel shiny, healthy, beautiful. It's no other further steps behind the chair. You're able to just apply it onto the hair, mix your color, come back and paint away. It's beautiful. And with L'Oreal Professional Blonde Studio Clay, along with it, it's like a double whammy of amazingness. Texture, movement, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Feels so hydrated and so soft. No gloss was needed. And on Miss Ellie, so much shine. I didn't put any products on her hair. I didn't do any Mythic Oil or 10-in-1 spray. This is all just Metal Detox and Dia Light. The results are beautiful. Before I go, I'm just gonna make sure there wasn't any questions that I missed. Oh, zigzag sectioning, is it only recommended for curly, thick hair clients? Absolutely not. You can use on anyone. Sometimes even when I'm teaching balayage for beginning of French balayage, I like to teach in the back of zigzag placement, and you can pick up right from that zigzag, and I'll show you right now so you don't miss out on this, because this is a great technique. This is gonna be high contrast. So I'll show you here. When doing a zigzag, I draw it onto the hair, and I'm able, let me see if you can see, able to pick up right from that piece here, and I can paint just that piece. Next one here too. I really like using this technique when I'm painting in a low light with Dia Richesse or with Majorelle Glow, because whatever I leave in between, I can also paint that as a low light to add more contrast and more depth. Make sure I didn't have any more of the questions.